Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, as you're tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to our lovely channel. So in this one, we're going to talk about how we were able to make over $3,700 today, day trading two stocks. Those two stocks are CADL and TCBP, one biopharmaceutical company and I believe one technology company. Before we do jump into it and address the key, things that people will ask about, hey, Relentless, tell us about your strategy, tell us about your style of trade and how you're looking to hyper scalp these patterns. Before we get into all of that, guys, remember that day trading, like any other business here in the United States of America, is risky business. All right. In order to separate yourself and be better than the masses, you have to do something differently. Do not do what the 90% of people does that are not making it. All right. And what part of that is heeding the warning. 9 out of 10 traders fail. Guys, as you're coming into the market, you have to ensure that your tuition is limited. Ensure that as you go through your learning curve, your risk is limited. You can do so by utilizing a small amount of cash as you trade, risk money, right? Or utilize the paper trading simulators, all right? Practice, 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 improve, become competent and experienced, and then put out real risk out there, all right? So keep that in mind. Remember, secondly, that the live streams and recaps are never a reason to try and copy trade. It takes months, more commonly years. Lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers. What that means is, first, I will never message you. I will never message you randomly out of the blue. I will never message you first. I will never message you first. Be careful of the fake accounts out there. I will never entertain and talk about copy trading, mirror trading, options trading. I'll never send you a screenshot of gains. None of that stuff. I will never message you first. Stay safe out there, guys. And let's continue here. As CADL, the stock that we traded later here into the day, is, in fact, it's a therapeutic. So we had a biopharmaceutical and therapeutics. This one is still moving and actually giving a new high here. So not bad at all. No after hour trading for me. After hours pre-market are always just so wild. In the wild, wild west, if you ask me. But some people love it. But yeah, with that being said, guys, let's just go over a couple of these trades. This thing is really moving here all the way up to 820. It's really doing its thing. Yeah, we're gonna go over a couple of trades. Right, let's take a quick look at that level 2 up there. 50. This thing is flying. As we know, in after hours in pre-market, there are no halt levels. These stocks can go up and down as much as they would like. But anyhow, so let's come back. Let's bring it down here and come back to this morning. So let's go over the other stock first, TCBP. Just for quick context, around 8:30, I believe, yeah, 8:30, we went from a low of 137 all the way to a high of 276. It was a pretty impressive move, but then it pulled back. And this wasn't bad because you guys know, for me, I like to see the red to green. I like to trade uptrending momentum, and that's exactly what we got out of this one. We had a level here coming into the open around 227, 230. I had 238 mapped out, and I'm like, if we start to push over this level, I'm interested. And so this thing, from a low of 10, pushed up aggressively, got to 40, quick pullback, dips to 30 from that high of 40, and then rips up to 50, and then from there continues all the way to 92. And so this gave us a good surge. I was up $700 here to start. Did get a little chop in the pullback. Gave back some profits. But as it started to open up some more, we were able to, capitalize again. So right on up to 337. And this is where I'm going to get caught again, right? The pullbacks sometimes can get you, right? This one was much, in fact, I think we might have actually made money in this pullback. It was much more tight. The other one here, I think I was confusing the two. This one here is where we're going to sell off, and I'm going to ultimately lose a ton of gains from about 900 to only up 300. And then we did make back a little something something on the way up, getting ourselves up to 1200 with some aggressive trades coming in over 290 for the break of 3. We did size in here, expecting a strong opportunity, but we didn't quite get that. That was TCBP. Not too bad, right? Now, for the other stock, we are going to show some archives. This thing did sell off after that. Unfortunately, another good example as to why we need to keep the losses tight, cut it, and not hold on to any losing trades. Even if you expected this flag right here to continue to the upside and push all the way up here, the moment this starts to come down, you gotta cut it, man. You gotta cut it, 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 because if not, this is what can happen. And then we're here hoping and praying that this thing curls back up, which is just, you don't want to be in a position of hoping, man. We got to be in a position where we're in control and, reacting and being responsible. If not, this thing is at 188 right now. So yeah, CADL, the hot stock here in after hour and and power hour. I really and truly noticed it as it was halted up. I was a little late to the party. I could have been in better position, but I was somewhat slacking, let's say. Um, I think I could have captured it from I want to believe 460s, but I wasn't paying attention after it gave the move up. Right here, I really slacked off and didn't capitalize in this area. And it was somewhat sporadic, let's say, but once it started to move, man, we really got involved. So let's pull it up on E-Trade just so we can see where that halt level really came in. So heading into the halt, I think I was red like 300. Or let's say red like 300 here going up, made back some money up 280 right into the halt level, and then we resumed. So I'm going to show you guys this massive trade. Sometimes you kind of miss out a little bit, but it only takes one good area, especially if you're pushing out that size, and you can capitalize. So let's pull it up. This was a massive trade here, so let's pull this over. So low point of this, let's see. This was pretty crazy, man. So resumption is coming up. Resumption is coming up. Let's go back some more. We're in the left-hand side of the screen. So here we go. Resumption's coming up. We got a high of 642. It resumes about sideways, and then it pushes through 50. We had a small seller. It pushes through 50, and it rips all the way up to 84, and then 97. It starts to pull back. I take mid-60s, or let's say hoping for mid-60s. I'm in at 76 instead, but it's on the incline, and we're looking for the move through the level. We didn't have a ton of red when I bought there on the tape, but as we pulled back and the bids were starting to hold, I got longs mid-60s area, hoping we would stall out, kind of being aggressive, right? Because I don't want to miss the move if this thing is gonna go. So I'm in at 76. There's a good trade there, and it pulls back to 99. And so you guys know about the whole dollars, man. The whole dollars are famous, and so where some people might look to be in at 640. I mean, I would have looked to be in at 640 as well, but it moved up so fast. But I'm in 60. I'm not looking to hold this thing for 5-10 minutes and get married to it. We're already extended. This thing can drop down. So I get back in here around the $7 area, looking for it to boost us back up. And the moment I'm in, you can see it's actually coming down a little bit to 690. And I do get a higher fill here, 708. I think I bought between 7 and 7 like 09 or 710. So I kind of got a little bit of a higher fill. We hit 90, then it's almost immediately back to 23, and this thing just takes off from here. It absolutely rips. There's 40 by 48. There's 65 by 40. And I sold up into the spread for a nice sweet trade, man. For a nice sweet trade. The halt level here then extends to 75. Well, here's how quickly this thing is going to come back down and how risky it's going to be. So I'm going to try the same trade again, but this time the spreads do open up a little bit. I bought between 7 and 710, I think. Oh, okay, maybe I don't know. I bought somewhere down there, but it bounces. It looks like it's going to bounce, and then look at this drop right here. So I'm gonna sell it immediately right here, noticing why didn't we continue to 40, 50 and get the move back up. So I'm gonna sell right here. Before it starts to drop, I'm already looking to cut this trade as a scratch trade. Boom, it comes down. There's 680. There's 670, 665. I look to take this secondary drop, and I'm too early. I mean, I'm being too aggressive here. Is what it is, and this thing is gonna come down to 23, and I'm gonna take a sweet $1,000 loss. If you really look back at this, I could have avoided this loss by being more patient, but sometimes it's how it is. You kind of are looking to be super aggressive. Sometimes I'm not even waiting. I mean, there's 70, there's 65. I mean, I'm being so aggressive here, and then it's gonna collapse. Just look at how the level 2 is fluctuating. I mean, it's just a mess. Sometimes it gets so difficult because the price action is so wild. I mean, but the real move here is going to be for those people trading after hours, right? I mean, look at this, 1036 for the highs. I don't like to see this because I'd rather this happen at the open, but after hours, man, let's look at the level 2 here for a little bit. After hours is just, its own thing. Pre-market, its own thing. Spreads do seem to be tight here for now. 66 by 73. 66 by 71. It seems like the volume is a little lighter right now. And we are super extended up here. I was telling myself over 640 in after hours would have been good. But yeah. I was actually prepping a position, but if we go back to what happened right here, I would have been in. And if I didn't sell, I would have lost money here. It made a huge move up to 736 in like 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And then in the next 2 seconds, it's down here at like 605. I would have only had 300 shares though, so it wouldn't have been anything anyways. Right now, it would be hard to determine a bottom. Like, for this kind of move up, what's the support? What's the low? It's just near impossible to tell. But yeah, so I'm gonna shut it down. This type of trade is not for me. So, ultimately, I came in today. I did a good job, right, in terms of looking for the patterns that I know and love. If we're to come back, just to discuss a little more of what we traded and why, coming back to TCBP again, I wanted to see a red to green. We had to move up. We had a few baby pullbacks in there, and then we had a beautiful wedge. This one was good as mentioned. I kind of confused these two initially. Memory was a little off, but yeah, beautiful wedge. We held up nicely, higher lows, made new highs. So, some people also consider this a bull flag. And then up here, when we started to, flag again, we kind of had that, choppy wick down. Okay, that's going to extend our lows a little bit. The flag starts to then look like this. And then we still reject, so just a little disappointing there. This right here, nice red to green opportunity, higher lows here. The 1 minute candle makes a new high. Initially it's a false breakout, but then that pushes us up into this other flag, right? Over the high of this bit of a flat top. We're in break of 3. That then gets to 305 and then eventually 314. We flag again, getting into a bit of a wedge. Is just a bit of a longer flag, and it broke down. Didn't quite get that move to the upside, so we kept it tight. We were up 1500 at the highs. We gave back some, and then coming back over to CADL. This one we had the bull flag. I mean, a lot of bull flags today, right? Not really seeing like the ABCD as much, or some of the other patterns as much. Bull flag. This one is going to break out over 540. Gets halted up here at 642. As mentioned, I basically missed this whole thing. But beautiful resumption trade. It opens up, it rips higher. It does pull back from 7 down to 60. I'm in at 60. And I'm I'm selling that over 723 area. It dips to 7. I'm back in at 7. And then I'm out around like 25. Then it dips again. Or maybe that was the trade that then came down. And then we lost the 1K from around 7. Or let's say we bought back lower, 680. And then 620 on the bids. $1,000 loss. So sometimes you just got to see these stocks early, man. You know, sometimes you're here, but you're also not here depending on what you're doing. Because trading is this thing where we have downtime, but something can happen at a moment's notice. So it's like, it's hard to be giving it your undivided attention for 8 hours straight, knowing you could be doing other things on the side, right? We have other projects, other jobs, other businesses, and sometimes it's more efficient to be elsewhere, right? Whilst nothing is moving. But the moment the scanner starts to go off or something is called out in the chat, got to be back on it. But yeah, guys, check out those links down below. If you're interested in the scanner, the chat room, or the classes, feel free to check out those 3 links, right? Of course, the classes is for anyone out there who's interested in this hyper scalping style. We say hyper scalping because we're taking hundreds of trades in a day. I mean, literally look at all these trades that I took today. You know, look at this long list of trades, right? Feel free to check it out. You can come down here, take a look at our curriculum, right? You can come take a look at our curriculum. This diagram here will also show you what's involved, what's included, what perks you get once you become a member. Our flagship membership is the gold package, which includes everything. So you guys can feel free to check it out. It does come with one-on-one mentorship. It does come with free chat room access, weekly Q&As, and much more. All right. So check it out. And of course, for those of you who are interested in the chat room, it looks like somebody might have had an after-hour trade, and it's 640. I see 640 was that level. A lot of people kind of realized that was that level. I honestly could have been doing something like this myself. 640, 780, 850, $9. Absolute beastly trade. We got to give that a fire emoji for the Audi kid holding it down in after hours. Way to go, man. Yeah, other than that, check out the chat room, right? There are 2 options to join. You can become an elite member or participant. Elite members have full access, excluding, you know, MMU chat rooms, right? MMU course member chat rooms are separate from the other parts of the trading floor. But yeah, you guys can gain access to the chat. I did go live for about 20 minutes in there, trading for the entire Discord just now during this move, right? You guys can feel free to check it out. Participant role is a read-only mode. If you're just, hey, you know, I'm not too sure, but I want to see what it's like in there, you can check it out, right? Other than that, yeah, the chat room, and then Momo Pro. This is the scanning software that I use every day, and this allows me to compile my watch list every single morning. I do think they can be a little bit better when it comes to the high-low stream, which acts as a 5-day momentum scanner. But the watch list builder here, Discovery, it has me covered every single morning. In fact, I don't even use a filter. I use the default filter and go for highest percentage down. Right? I just make sure my volume aligns. This particular filter here, anybody who wants it can customize it or copy it, whatever. Right? But it doesn't include stocks below $1. You can always adjust that if you want. But yeah. So other than that, code Relentless for 25% off for Momo Pro, right? 25% off for 6 months. These are the 2 options for the Discord. And of course, coupon code Triad for 40% off on MMU, right? The classes. That's going to do it for me. It's been Relentless Trader. All right. Stay safe, stay green. I am, of course, signing out.